Good evening, dear friends, whoever is attending from USA, and good morning, very good morning, and happy Friday to everyone attending from India and Australia. For folks in USA, happy Thursday, happy Masters Day, and of course, most of you are aware. I guess today is a Hanuman Jayanti day too. So happy Hanuman Jayanti to everyone, dear friends. So happy to be here. This is Purna. Dialing in from Dallas, USA, representing Beat, the fundamental concept of the meditation we're talking about, breath, energy, awareness, and transformation. And we will get into the details of this concept later on after our meditation. Welcome to the day 4 session of Swayam, My Time, which my time, Swayam, the word itself talks a lot about my time, right? So it has internal meaning itself. It's very important for everyone in this journey to spend some time with yourselves. Introspection is the best way to proceed in the journey of spiritual awareness. So without further ado, we were talking about Hanuman Jayanti. So who is the master of breath? Hanuman is the guru of breath, and breath is our guru. So without further ado, I would like to request Sharat Master to kindly guide us through meditation, which has been doing for past 3 days. Please immerse in the deepest meditation levels. Sharat sir, over to you.
Thank you, Purnaji. Thanks a lot. So, greetings. So, this is the time to meditate. Let's get ready for meditation. Withdraw from everything you have been doing so far, thinking, doing anything. Withdraw. Feel relaxed already. Be very happy. We are all here. You can dim the lights of the room to make it more calmer. The steps of meditation are very simple. You need to find a very comfortable posture to sit. You can sit on a sofa. Is my voice clear? Loud and clear?
Yes, we're able to hear you.
Yeah. So sit comfortably. The steps are sit comfortably wherever you can. You can sit on the floor. You can sit on a sofa. Find a comfortable posture, which is very important to keep you in meditation for longer duration. Then you need to clasp your fingers like this because we are going to get a lot of energy. The energy circulates within the body as it comes. So we form a circuit like this. Then take a moment's time and close your eyes gently. Then start observing your natural breath without altering it, without changing it. The steps are very simple. So before we get to the steps, take 4 or 5 seconds time to find your best posture to sit for longer duration of meditation. Relax your body. Let there not be any tensions in your body muscles. Let it loose. Gather yourself. Gather your mind. Be here now. Take out your specs if you have. Taps your fingers like this. Now slowly close your eyes. Take a moment here. We all come from noisy world. There will be so many background noises. There will be so many things happening around you. Don't pay any attention to any of those aspects. They will become passive as we focus, as we start observing our breath. Don't have to bother at all. Feel relaxed. Feel comfortable. Energy flows where your attention goes. Gently bring your attention to your breath and start observing. Best way to start observing your breath is after exhalation, inhalation will start on its own without any effort, without changing it. Start observing your breath from inhalation. From then on, be with your breath. Relax. Let thoughts come. Don't flow with those thoughts. Cut them out. Only thing to do is observing your breath. Relax, masters. Don't change your breath. There may be many sensations coming to your awareness. Sensations on your body. See it. Observe it. Come back to breath. There will be light background meditation music which will start any time, which will aid you to be in meditation. No mantra to be chanted, no visualizations, no analysis, no good or bad. Do not give any other tasks to your mind other than observing your breath. Observe it as is. Let all other things become passive. Be only with your breath. Let each inhalation and exhalation take you deep into meditation. Don't recall any memory. There is nothing to do. Be with your breath, flow with your breath, relax. Breath connects body and mind. Come back to your breath. Relax. Relax. Come back to your breath. Be with your breath, masters. Few more minutes in this meditative state, masters. One more minute, masters. Relax. Thirty seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rub your palms, keep them on your eyelids. Take a moment, slowly open your eyes. Wonderful meditative state. You can be in this state and listen to the session. Thank you so much for meditating with me. So over to you, Purna. Thank you.
I have no words, Sharat Master. What a wonderful session.
Thank you.
And that on a Thursday evening for us here in US. I can feel the energies. I just want to add a word here. Soon we realize we are beyond the body and mind. That's where our spiritual journey starts. And meditation is the only vehicle that connects our soul to the super soul. I just felt like sharing this, and I know everybody is aware of this, but I just felt like reiterating this. That's self-realization. And Sharat Master facilitating this kind of meditation, which is a vehicle, which is a tool to connect our soul to the super soul, is a blessing. Thank you so much. Gratitude. Dear friends, I would like to thank and express my deep gratitude to the organizers of this digital platform who made it possible for us to meditate across the globe. Now we have probably around 80, 90 masters join in every day, spending time for meditation. So the organizers of this wonderful digital platform, Digital Connect, IFSS, International Federation of Spiritual Scientists, and they're supported by affiliated groups as organizations, again, who are spiritual joy, Omega Pyramid, PSSM Ignite, Breath Universe, PIMA, the youth wing of PSSM, and the corporate PSSM corporate wing, BEAT. That brings us to the topic of BEAT, breath, energy, awareness, and transformation. This was a concept given by Patri sir, how you can leverage your breath, the energy from the breath, be aware and transform yourself. On this note, I would like to welcome Sunil. Please share the concepts behind BEAT. And I'm going to hand it over to Sunil.
All right. Thank you, Purna. Good evening. All right. So I'll share a quick research done on breath. So, which is very closely related to what you mentioned, BEAT. It's a larger concept, and I'll leave it to you and Suresh Kalburgi sir to explain about the BEAT. So there was a beautiful research done on how breath control can change your life. And this research was done by researchers from University of Pisa, and it was published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience and many other publications. So they tried to explore why slow breathing, when I meant it is lesser than 10 breaths per minute, has such a profound effect on our body and mind. So this is what they found. So the key findings are, first thing is it balances the nervous system. The slow breathing increases the heart rate variability, which is a sign of a healthy and flexible nervous system. So higher heart rate variability is linked to better stress resilience and better emotional control. It boosts the brain function. So they did EEG scans, and which showed that the slow breathing raises the alpha brain waves. Now, alpha brain waves is linked to relaxation and focus, and it lowers the theta waves. So theta waves is more towards the sleepiness or drowsy state. So this combination creates a state of calmness and alertness. Next thing is it enhances the mood. The participants reported that they feel more relaxed, less anxious, and even happier after slow breathing exercise. So some described it as a reset button for stress. This also activates the key brain areas. So they did functional MRI scans. It's revealed that the slow breathing lights up the brain regions. There are various regions in the brain, right? Which is involved in attention. Attention is in the prefrontal cortex, the body awareness, insula, and emotional regulation, the limbic system, which is somewhere in between the brain. Now, why this matters to us is because first thing is it releases the stress. Within just 5 to 10 minutes of slow breathing, it can dial down the stress hormones and activate the body's relaxation response. It gives better focus. The shift in brain waves, it clears the mental fog, making it much more easier to focus and concentrate. It provides emotional balance by synchronizing your breath and brain. The experience to gain more control over reactions to daily challenges. So science confirms what ancient practices like yoga and meditation have already been teaching us, that breath is a bridge between the mind and the body. So whether you're new to meditation or seasoned practitioner, slow breathing is a simple tool to cultivate calm, clarity, and resilience. Now, the participants had done this as an exercise, actually, to begin with. Later, they found that this is also part of meditation. So here, when we meditate, we don't control the breath. We always are suggested to observe the breath. Just keep an observation. You might have different breathing pattern in the beginning of meditation, but over a period of time, the breath becomes very, very shallow and almost very slow. So slow that it is very close to what this research is also talking about. So we end up breathing slowly, and that slow breathing helps in these ways, what I just mentioned. So this is a quick research which I want to share with you on this concept. Over to you, Purna. Thank you. Purna, you're on mute.
Oh, okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, great. No, thank you so much, Sunil, for sharing some light on that. Slow breathing, obviously. So unfortunately, we are in a rush, right? So we're so packed up in our day-to-day activities that we forget and appreciate the value of breathing. We forgot the natural breathing, completely forgot whether we are breathing it faster or too slower or stressful breathing. But that's a very good insight. And I would like to request if Sam wants to add anything to this concept.
We can do it after the experiential wisdom sharing of Subhash.
Thank you. Well, we'll pick it up at the end of this one. So, without further ado, it's my honor to introduce Mr. Suresh Kalburgi, who's a trainer of body, mind, soul concepts and meditation. He, by education, he's an engineer, electronics and communication engineer, just like most of us, and a successful entrepreneur. He's got his own business ventures in the past, and he's an executive in different companies. So that's just about his professionalism, but there's more to that, right? So Suresh sir has started his spiritual journey in 1996 which I won't go deep into that because I would like to request him to explain more into how he started his spiritual journey and meditation and such. But I would like high level at the very lightly I would touch upon his services rendered to PSSM Ana-Pana-Sati Meditation since 2009. He's an executive. He's actively participating in executive leadership for many PSSM organizations, including but not limited to PIMA Youth Wing, PVI. He's a very active participant at the Pyramid Valley International, Bangalore. He conducts sessions, retreats in Kannada language, the local Kannadigas. He is one of the executives of IFSS. So I can go on. I mean, but I would like to Mr. Suresh sir to introduce himself about the meditation, and kind of please share your journey, sir. How you started your spiritual journey and a meditation, how it really impacted your personal professional life, and brought you where you are. I mean, yeah, please.
Thank you, Punaji. Namaskar, all the masters and the gods are visible and invisible also. Right? So, great to see you all. Happy souls and happy connect. And wonderful, very mesmerizing, hypnotic, meditative session with Sharadji. The way you connected and then you've been keeping the thread, tied, to all of us was wonderful. So great. I really enjoyed the morning hour. And thank you, Sunilji, for giving a great analysis and research bite for the day. And it was really wonderful. Definitely one thing I just want to add up here is that, breath is the bridge, but once we connect to the breath, the bridge also is gone. And we switch from, the Panchabhutas to beyond, right? So we go away from the five elements and get into an alternate source of energy that is called the cosmic energy, right? So the entire body system, the mental system becomes anti-gravity, and then, that's how I feel I experience that sort of a bliss there. So we go beyond the five element and then the gravity. So that's moving away from one source of energy to an alternate source of energy that is the universal energy. Right? So that's a great experience. So friends, it's a great moment for me to share my journey, and thank you the entire team of IFSS and all the affiliates like Omega and the Beat, PIMA, and all other organizations associated. So friends, my journey towards the spiritual realization started way back in 96, when I was already inclined to reading a lot of books from the Indian spiritual context. And I happened to finish my engineering in 96, and then I was looking what next, something related to myself to start. And one of my friends who was a classmate or a batchmate of mine, he said, let's join in a course called the Siddha Samadhi Yoga, which was run by an organization called Rishi Samskriti Vidya Kendra by great master Rishi Prabhakar. He was, the master incepted by Mahesh Yogiji, along with Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. I think they were both peers working with them. And then the Siddha Samadhi Yoga was a balanced course which started, and then it talks about a bit of food, raw food diet, and a bit of meditation to a transcendental meditation approach, and then leader follower concepts, taking responsibility of yourself, and then a bit of pranayama, asanas, and things. So it was a holistic thing. It was a 15.5-day program that changed my perspective towards myself and the whole society and the world in general, right? So, and since then I shifted my diet to vegetarianism, and that's when I became from a hardcore demonic diet to a human diet, or that's called a vegetarian diet. And that's how I became human for the first time. And then the journey started, and then I went into a lot of shopping, getting into Reiki, first degree, second degree. Then I was very fond of healing. I became mad about healing people, and then went around looking for people who needs healing. Then got into a bit of a hypnotic, hypnosis courses. Then went into a bit of courses on remote viewing, Silva mind control, and ultra mind, and all those courses of Silva, Jose Silva courses. Then a bit of more of quantum healing, quantum jumping, so many other concepts of the Western things. And then parallelly reading a lot of books in general. The life went on, and then it was like waves going up and down, and I could see a lot of impact on myself when I went into Reiki. And with a bit of practice of meditation, then I used to see that my energy levels have been improving quite a lot. And then came, a stop or a launch pad when I came with my experience with a great master called Premanand, who was a senior master of, Vipassana. So he taught me Vipassana without getting into a 10-day course. He said, I will induce you to Vipassana. Then 1 year I was completely into that in 2009. Right. Since then, there was no look back, I would say. In Vipassana, the one thing that I got into is that, I could sense and feel the resonance of every cell that's vibrating and, getting born and then exiting my body layer. And, the resonance of how the life is, spurting, and then how it's really vibrating within myself. So that was a great sense of experience. And then comes the great master in my life, Patriji, great Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji. So I really bow down and express my deepest gratitude to Brahmarshi Patriji, who gave me a new life. And I would say it's a second birth or a rebirth in this physical layer. Was in 2010 when I first met him, and then I got a great command from him that, if you are not a Buddha, if you are not a Gandhi, then just get out, don't come to me. So that was the first encounter that I had. Then I had to contemplate quite a lot, because he's a great Zen master. There will be a message for you. I didn't feel offended when he really yelled on me from the top of his voice, but I was feeling there's something that he's saying. There's some message he's trying to give it to me. And that's when I realized that, being a Buddha means that, I have to meditate more and also teach meditation. And then being Gandhi means you have to, take the non-violent movement, the teaching and serving the humanity, and then, talking about vegetarianism and serving the PSSM world and the world at large, to teach meditation and take it to the world and serve it. So that's when, my journey started. And he gave us simple things like, teaching meditation has to be done by everyone. The moment you learn how to meditate, we have to teach. So that was like a wow moment for me, that, yes, see, I'm enjoying this bliss of meditation. And then teaching is such a wonderful thing. And I became mad for meditation and mad for teaching meditation also. So mad for meditation. So let me come to that concept. When I started meditating the first time, I was practicing Vipassana. So, but when I came back to the basics of Ana-Pana-Sati, which is the first step in the process of Vipassana course also. And when I meditated under a pyramid, that was like a volcano, erupting within myself. And the energy started shooting up so much that, I literally lost my physical layer completely. And that was in Singapore, my first experience with the pyramid, 2x2 pyramid with some crystal cladding. And I couldn't just sleep. And that's how I say the explosion of energy started. And I felt, there's so much more to explore about myself. And that's when I really could experience my spiritual connect. I was completely out of my senses, 5 layers. And that's why I just use the word, the 5 elements. So going beyond my senses and truly feeling that anti-gravity as if there's nothing called as gravity there. And all my mental inertia was lost. The physical inertia was already gone. The mental inertia also was lost, and then completely going beyond. And that's when I wanted to explore more and more, more and more, more and more. Then I could spend easily 5 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours of meditation, non-stop. And I could spend like a whole year of 2010, explore completely for myself. So the blessing was that I was in Singapore, my family was here in Bangalore. So, and there was no one to ask me. So the whole day work at office and then night explore, reading books, listening to talks and meditating, contemplating and experimenting. And that's when the 18 principles given by great Patriji came handy, So he has given wonderful postulates, and then every concept became my research subject, be it like teaching meditation, then be a simple, humble, human family being, no charging cost to everyone, don't interfere, be a vegetarianism follower. Then, non-interference, all these things, made a lot of sense for me that, how can this master give, such a, in a simple way and a layman's language. You don't have to be a scholar, you don't have to be a pandit, you don't have to be a graduate or anyone, a person who can just understand simple languages, lay down so much. And then later realize that, whatever he has given in form of 18 principle is becoming part of my realization journey also. It's coming naturally. So that means to say, all these concepts are pure and just coming out of like a spring water, right? It's just coming out pure without any clutter and mixing. It's just a raw subject of spiritual science. So, friends, that's when my journey became very wonderful. So, the first thing that I realized that, I got my spiritual health. Spiritual health is that beyond these 5 senses and the pure play energy. And then I got to see that, I could see a split view of what's that mind game, what's the physical game. The 3 layer started appearing as if, it's just like the AI tool. If you see many images coming out of you, and then I can actually start enjoying the play of game of mind, what the thought makes, how it works. And then I would wait for any pain in my body and enjoy and play with that pain, and and many other place of the body that comes in place, and including your digestive system, work on food mechanism, like how you can, easily switch between eating to non-eating and play with the fasting concepts and things like that. At cellular level also. So, and experimented many things else like, sun gazing and healing concepts. So I definitely stopped healing after I met Patriji. And teaching became my alternate living habit to give back to the society. Wherever I was traveling, be it a co-traveler in the flight or be a large corporate event, I was very happy to teach meditation in a simple way because I come from an engineering background, about 7 years of technical education in electronics and telecommunication line. So I love to correlate more technically, a real life situation of a common human to a spiritual concept. From concepts like what is God, Patriji talks about the basic fundamentals he talks about is, my dear friends and masters and God. So the basic ABCs of this journey is like everyone is first a God. We are all energy beings, not the physical beings. So we start from there. So how do I really correlate this with a person who can understand in a simple layman's terms? So that's when I started creating a concept called Body, Mind, Soul workshops through a simple, understandable slides and give it back to the society so I could connect very well with students or corporate techies or executive teams, and even be it schools and colleges and teaching institutions So, yeah, the journey became fun. And then came my social or family life. I live in a family of 12 people. A single kitchen with 12 people, you can imagine how it will be, an Indian family. So it was a great bumpy ride when I started meditating, a lot of resistance and a lot of comments here and there. Then gradually, they could see a degree of transformation. And then I am happy to say that all our family members are now meditators, and many of them have gone vegetarian, because I come from a background where, hardcore non-vegetarian and drink and things like that. But at least I'm happy my wife and my, son, my mother, and my brothers and nieces and nephews that have become vegetarian to a greater extent, and everyone are meditating. And a great balance could be established within our family, a lot of balanced and harmonious living. Everyone enjoys together the company. And then comes my official business life. I could see that, it was it became effortless for me to manifest what I wanted, connect with customers very well. I just had to put my side that the business starts evolving and it starts growing and flourishing. And then I could achieve quickly the financial abundance that I wanted. A social abundance came in when I started teaching, making thousands of friends, not just the friends that I had within my domain, but the friends which I connected through my spiritual journey, right? Thousands of friends, wherever I go, wonderful, great friends to share, talk, meet. There's no boundary, right? All the walls are broken, right? So wherever you go, it's like, you make a new friend from there. So, and that's when I could really enjoy the social abundance, social health. So the financial health came in just like this in a jiffy, then the business connect would happen, right? So physical health became, and mental health became the immediate benefits or fruits that I could reap. So spiritual health, physical health, and mental health became immediate fruits that I could reap. Then comes my social and then financial benefit. So now it's all about getting involved in many associations. As you said, I work as an acting director for the PMC Kannada channel. So working closely on a day-to-day basis. Then I had a great opportunity given by Patriji and Swarnamala Patri madam. Then I was assigned some task on Paima. So I'm enjoying my connect with the youth wing. And then, of course, thanks to Sampaji and Rajan sir to pull me into IFSS. It was a great learning and experience for me. And being part of Beat, I really am very passionate to connect to the corporate world. That yes, corporate executives should take up, every executive, top leadership of every organization, be it a commercial organization or a spiritual organization or NGO. We should make that as a mission as leaders to induce them to meditation, and they again take that as a top-down approach in any organization to teach meditation and percolate it down. So at least at my organization, so I lead an organization of about 2,000 people. So, we make sure that every day we give 15 minutes, switch off everything in our facilities, turn off the lights, and we play a public addressing system with music to help them all to meditate. So that's how I made sure that we also speak as well as same time, get out of all the silos and teach and make sure that we establish a platform and be conducive to make everyone to become meditators and enjoy the bliss of it. And it has shown up in our office facility that it becomes pretty positive. The interpersonal relationship and peer management becomes pretty easy. It becomes quite harmonious there. I couldn't really see that there is any mishap or any accident, a lot of negativity spreading and biting each other and things like that, aggressions or these things are not there. So it naturally cleanses the environment and spreads a great, ambience around. It's like fragrance everywhere, right? So that fragrance which percolates all the layers. That's what I can say. That's a spiritual fragrance. So that's all I have in a gist, friends. I can go on and on for hours, but I could just try to encapsulate in this slot. Thank you very much for the opportunity, friends.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Suresh, sir, for summarizing your around 30 years of spiritual journey in a very nutshell. I know you'll need days and months to explain the whole thing. We can see the passion in you, how you're going about. I mean, I have so many questions, but if I ask questions now, the session will go on forever. So, but we'll keep it very simple here. So, since we're already about an hour, more than an hour of the session. So, if I can request you, what is your suggestion? One suggestion that you would like to give to the beginners, and then uh, to the masters who have started the journey and then kind of still in a confusion state, basically, obviously, right? Because, like you rightly said, there should be a perfect balance between your professional life, personal life, spiritual life. So those two questions, if you could please answer, that'd be really great, sir.
Yeah, definitely, Purnaji. I think that's definitely a great question to make my day, right? See, the first principle that I learned, and now I could say very happily that, be selfish first. Selfish in the sense, know yourself first and give the luxury of the time for yourself. And that's what is meditation. And most valuable and powerful way of giving time for myself is to meditate. Because meditation changes the whole perspective about myself and understanding about myself as well as internal as well as external world. So what I see, the moment I open up my eyes and get up from my bed, what I see is my world. What you see is your world. Everyone has their own, and you are the center of your universe. What you are seeing, you are the center of your dimension. What you are seeing, and if I don't spend myself time for myself, then we are just wandering. We are just struggling. Everything becomes agitation and struggle. So that is what I realized. My first rule is that be selfish, be healthy and contented and fulfilling your mechanism first. And then get that real feel of the energy, the happiness and contentment, satisfaction, whatever, right? Whatever we call the great tools and achievements of my life, I should feel that and experience within myself. So that's in, I say, be selfish, spend some time for yourself so that you become capable and healthy in all areas and all aspects so that you can go and serve others. So I am a boon to myself as well as the society. Otherwise, if you have a physical element or a mental element or any other issue, then you are a financial problems. You are a bane to the society, not a boon to the society. So I would say the first gift that is to spend time for yourself, and then you really become a gift to the society. Nothing else has to be done because I'm healthy in all the 5 layers: physical, mental, spiritual, social, and financial. So if every person becomes abundant in that 5 healths, then what else is required? So the first thumb rule for me is to spend time for myself, and then I'm ready to get started for the day. So meditate and get out.
Beautiful answers also. Yeah, spiritual selfishness, right? So I know selfishness has a lot of meanings. I think there's a subtle difference between the physical selfishness versus the spiritual selfishness, right? So that's a great way of putting it.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a great way of putting how we have to be spiritually selfish and kind of content within yourself. So you become abundant and serve the community around you. That's a nice way, sir. So um, with that, there is one question I would like to read here. So where does the mind get its command to think of past or future, good or bad?
You mean where does it get the command?
Yeah, so where does the mind gets its command to think of past or future, good or bad?
No, basically, I would say the mind is like a farm field, right? And the thoughts are the ones which is acting as a command. Thought or intention is where the mind gets a command, right? And the creator of the thought is myself, the intention. And the mind is like a farm field where the thought is like a seed. The thoughts can be from the past or from the future, but it is me who is creating this. So I am the commander. I as a soul, or I as a master, I as a spirit, I am the commander. And thought is like a seed. The intentions are the seeds, and the mind is like a farmland. So whatever you sow, so it becomes, right? So when you reap that, it's as simple as that. And whether
Great.
it is irrespective of what is past or future or good or bad, seed is seed. Whether you grow a bitter gourd or you grow mango, it's a seed. That's it. So there's nothing called as a good or bad there. Everything is just a you sow, you reap. That's it.
Purna, I would like to add on this. I think
Please,
this question,
Sunil, go ahead.
yeah, I think this question was posted soon after that research presentation was done. So now, from that perspective, let me just give one small clarity. Now, we all know the importance of the present moment. Now, there is a default mode in our mind. So typically, before I come to this, there's a limbic system is the actual system which actually adds this emotional flavor of good, bad, these thoughts, negative, positive. The fear comes from the amygdala, and memory comes from hippocampus. Now, mind is always filled with this. So the moment we get away from the present moment, this auto mode, default mode kicks in like autopilot. In these today's AI terms, co-pilot we see, right? Co-pilot is somebody who is there with you to help you do your work. So if the mind is not in the present moment, it switches immediately to this autopilot. And autopilot, the default mode is always to, it sways with these flavors, good, bad, these negative or positive, and all these emotions, fear and everything. So that's the reason when in meditation, we always say, come back to breath. There's nothing but come back to the present moment. So the more you're in the present moment, the more you get away from these things. So we look at it from a neutral perspective. I hope that answered the question.
Great. Thank you, Sunil, for adding more light onto that. So, Suresh sir, thank you so much. Deep gratitude for accepting to, graciously, give your presence to this session, and like sharing your personal journey experience was wonderful. And I would like to add one question to the corporate life of the meditation in the corporate life, right? So you're already doing a lot of sessions, you've done, and you're still doing a lot of sessions in the corporates and the commercial world. So you being one of the managing directors of corporate wing, Beat. What do you suggest? Some of our colleagues, actually, some of our on the masters, or here, they're looking for some ideas or some ways to get meditation into their corporates, and so how can we help them? Especially in India, you've been in India. How can we help them get the word out there, or kind of conduct the sessions in their corporates?
I would recommend and urge that all the corporate leaders should definitely get into the practice of meditation on a daily basis first. So when it's more like a top-down approach, like say when you have so many families and members, who look on to you, right? So the first point is that the leadership should be transformed, and we should really look at what should the mechanism to train and enable all the leaders to be meditators and spiritual masters first. And then, enable all the employees within the organization. They should take a one step forward to say that, hey, our colleagues spend so much of time in the organization, right? So they wouldn't have spent so much of focused time, even with the family, and even for themselves. Forget about the family. For themselves, they wouldn't have given that luxury of time. And they've been giving so much of time to the organization. Of course, the reasons can be to earn money for themselves or for working for the organization. It depends on what perspective you carry. But within that time that they're giving so much in the office, how can we give some time to recharge themselves, rescale themselves, and cleanse their it's like taking shower to the mind. The mind is the person which is making everything to work. So if I don't cleanse my mind, so meditation is to give the shower to the mind. So that should be realized, more important than the body shower is a mental shower, right? So it charges and gives all the energy. So we should really give the time. And then also there are certain myths that we need to break. There is no time, I'm busy, and it's all nonsense, So everyone has that 24 hours. And we should know how to be lean in our time management. We should really do a root cause analysis and Six Sigma in time management, right? There is every second is valuable, and be traveling in the bus or waiting in the car, or be traveling in the car or the train or public transport system. We always get some time for ourselves. We are actually having certain blind spots. So we can give certain techniques and tools where every person can become a practitioner of a breath mindfulness meditation. We call it as observing the breath, right? So I think we need to really go granular, start from the top, and then take it to the world at large. So if every organization can transform, definitely the second benefit you will get is that the employees will take it back to the family, and they build that because the moment you feel good, then you want to give it. Right? That's the nature of a human being. That whatever you feel good, that what you have achieved as a good thing, you always give. That's a natural tendency. It's in our DNA. So that's what I can say as a quick
Yeah, great, sir. So, if any of the masters over here they want to take it to their companies, can they reach out to you, sir, or somebody that they can help them to guide a session or conduct a session in the company?
Sure, sir. I'll be very happy. Any sessions. We also have a lot of other masters in India as well that we can do either online
Great.
or physical sessions.
Great. Thank you so much, sir. That's really wonderful. And yeah, no, again, I am fortunate to be one of the co-directors along with Suresh, sir. So it's really great, sir. It's really great to be working with you and looking forward to work on this mission of taking meditation to the corporate world, employees and their families, sir. With that, I would like to hand it over to Sampath. Please, Sampath, if you want to expand on the concept of beat. And, again, Sampath is also one of the directors of PSSM Corporate Wing, which we're going it by or taking it to the world by beat. So I'm happy that I'm associated with Suresh sir and Sampath on this journey, on this initiative. Looking forward. Please, Sampath, take it over.
Good morning, Suresh sir. Thanks for knowing there is a lot of competition for you. There was a fight behind the screens between Sunil and Purna. I want Suresh sir to be a speaker on behalf of IFSS, and Purna says no, he's a director of BEAT now. I want him. Thank God you came after Paima session, otherwise they would have joined the fight. Wonderful contributions that you are making, and you are an example within PSSM. I'm fortunate to meet you, thanks to Pyramid Valley, Sagar sir, and all the sessions. Ever since you have joined, you have always shown your readiness to be a wonderful team player and a contributor. That people like you always inspire and give that extra energy to take up more projects and tasks, both in India and abroad. So I'm fortunate to work with you for PVI, then for IFSS, and then for BEAT, and let's see, and now for Paima, and let's see where it goes. Now, I just wanted to answer one question given that was posed. Mind gets the command wala question. Mind cannot exist in the present moment. Only awareness can. Mind actually belongs to past and future. Wherever it doesn't get a command, mind itself is past and future. When you are in past or future, that you're already with mind. And when you are with breath or in the present moment, you are out of mind and into awareness and into observation. That's one thing I wanted to add. I was waiting for my turn. And there is one question from Mohammed Noor. How and where to start? Please guide me. Please start here, my dear friend. Please join these sessions if you can. This is the best place. This whole session of my time or Swayam is dedicated for people who start, for the beginners. Please join here. And yeah, now the organization's name is Beat, and today's session is dedicated to Beat. It is organized by Beat. Purna, I want to pick on you. What do you want to add about the concept of Beat?
Concept of beat. So I'll just share whatever I learned about beat. Right. So breath is the only way to energize yourself. And if when you are aware that you are getting the energy through breath, aware is a key word, right? We always get energy. I mean, we get the physical energy, breath energy, but when you are aware, that is the driver to the transformation, cell transformation or transformation. So basically, breathing or leveraging the energy from your breath with awareness leads to transformation is what I've understood from the concept. Very high level. Please, correct me or add more details to that.
You're already getting energy through food. You're always getting primary source of energy is breath, and then of course food, then sleep. Then why are we specifically mentioning about this energy here? Does being with breath make you receive more energy, or how does it work?
Being with breath to me is the only way to get the cosmic energy. So the energy that we don't see, which is the fundamental beyond the physical, right? So yes, we eat food to energize our body to do the certain aspects.
Sorry to interrupt. Even if you are not with breath, breath is with you, and you have been receiving pranic energy through breath. Why do you need to be with breath?
Being aware of your breathing is the key to this one, right? So being aware, like we were talking about earlier. So we don't appreciate breathing on a day-to-day basis because we think, oh yeah, it's just free and it's happening by itself. Now, if you stop breathing for 1 second, that's when we know the value of breathing. So being aware that you're getting this pranic energy with breathing, that awareness actually will lead to the transformation is my understanding there.
Yeah, let's hear from Prithvi and then we'll continue the discussion. Prithvi, can you please present the concepts given by Brahmarshi Patriji about what happens when you are with breath? What is that unique link between breath and energy, and then the thoughts of the whole concept? Can you please present it quickly?
Yeah, I would like to present. Just a second. Can you see my slides?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we can.
So the first thing that happens when we meditate is the first grand happening given by Patriji is when we are with a simple, normal, easy, natural flow of the breath, the mind becomes rather empty. And the second grand happening is when the mind is empty, huge amount of cosmic energy flood into our physical system, into our physicalness, into the body. And the third grand happening is when sufficient amount of cosmic energy enters the physical system, the result is a reasonable and needed amount of activation of inner senses, which we also call as third eye. So our inner senses become very active as they receive energy when we are with the breath. So these are the three grand happenings which Patriji has given to us.
Let's go to the second grand happening.
Yeah.
So can you just read that out for me again?
When the mind is rather empty, huge amount of cosmic energy flood into the physical system.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was, in my question was to go now. It's like, you were otherwise also receiving energy, but when you go empty, when the mind becomes zero, that's when you receive a lot of energy. That exactly happens in sleep, but it happens in an unconscious state. The primary source of energy after breath is sleep and not food. People can live without food for a few weeks, but people cannot live without sleep for even few days. Maybe more than a week, you won't survive after a week. What is happening in sleep is, initially when you get into sleep, a few minutes, you are aware, and then mind gradually gets into that zero state where you don't know anything. There could be dreams, but that's a different phenomenon. But most of the time you are in the thoughtless state, that's when you receive energy. So whenever you are able to be in a thoughtless state, whether it be unconscious or conscious, you will receive energy. Sleep is a natural phenomenon where everybody receives energy unconsciously, but meditation is the alternative that is found by the spiritual researchers. In Sanskrit, we call them as Rishi. Rishi means research scientist. So the spiritual researchers have found out that you can go back to that state of receiving the abundant energy consciously. So meditation has become an alternative. Suppose, if sleep can be compared to the salary that you receive, meditation can become a bonus. So this is exactly where we are consciously trying to get into state of receiving that abundant cosmic energy. And what happens once you receive that energy is the third grand happening. Yeah, can you play that slide once again before we get into the beat?
Yes.
The result when you receive abundant cosmic energy is, you activation of your inner senses. You already have a few senses which you don't activate. People say, I have intuition. I don't know how I realized that this will happen, and it happened. I thought of a person and that person called me. Telepathy or an intuition. And basically this third eye, a lot of people think that it is a third eye here, Instead of looking at third eye that way, we can say third eye makes you understand things uh, in a better way. Like you can usually see with these eyes what of the things, but you will understand why of the things once you activate your third eye. So at this point of time, please look at it as your capability to understand things better, why of the things, basically. So thank you, Prithvi. You can get into the beat concept.
Sure. Thank you. So yesterday we also talked about how breath and mind are connected, and we saw that mind wanders, and where does it wander is every time it goes to the past or the future. It doesn't want to stay in the present moment. That is the habit pattern of the mind. So why are we meditating at the first place is to be a master of our own mind, body, emotions. So how do we become a master is by this beat concept. When we meditate, when we are with the breath, we receive the energy. That is the grand happening, second grand happening. We receive a lot of cosmic energy, which improves our awareness levels. So we become aware of where to invest our energy and time, on which thought to energize it. And when we energize that thought, that is what we create in our reality. That is what will become our life. So mastering our breath, we receive a lot of energy, where we will get the control over the thought, to which thought we have to energize and give time for. With that awareness, we can control our reality. We can create our reality.
Yeah, not just go back to the previous slide. Yeah, even this is energy, receiving the energy, we get it in sleep with the meditation. We receive more energy, you got bonus. But there is a lot of energy drain that is happening because of incessant activity in the mind, a lot of unnecessary talk, unnecessary judgments. There are a lot of things that are going on which are draining our energy. Unless the awareness part becomes active within you, you cannot stop that drain. So a lot of words, a lot of thoughts are unnecessary. When you stop that energy flow, that energy gets converted into power. A lot of people don't know this. I always give this stupid example, like, when you're washing a car with a water pipe, unless you press that water pipe and stop the flow, the pressure does not get generated. In the same way, when you receive energy and when you have that break on the outflow, the power gets generated, and each word that you utter gets more energy. Each thought that you make gets more energy, and they'll have more effect on the listeners. And the thoughts, when they get that power, they manifest in much quicker time, miraculously. This is what a lot of meditators experience. After I meditate, the same things that were not happening before, they are happening. My words are taken more seriously. This is what happens. This works for them. But before you go to the choosing of thoughts and words, you should understand that your awareness plays a vital role. So whenever you can act out of awareness, use it before you speak a word, before you make a thought, before anything that you do, let there be a filter of awareness. So that's why awareness is most important. That's why I think Patriji sir has given more importance to A for awareness in beat concept. Then, of course, we all know thoughts. Thoughts create our reality. A lot of people who are not meditators always think that their things are happening by chance. They are victims or just the fate. After you become a meditator, you will start taking 100% responsibility of what you create. That's when you become a master. A master will never sound like a victim. Either you are a victim or a master. So you have to take your side first. Even before you become a master, you have to choose that I want to take responsibility of 100% of whatever I create. That's when you will start fixing wherever things are wrong within you. If you say 99% I'm a master, but 1% I'm a victim, you will give the blame to that 1% rather than, so no 99%. You have to take 100% of the responsibility, whatever happens. We'll talk about this concept in detail in future, but at a top level, you have presented this concept. You can complete the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And with the beat, there are two things that will happen when we master this beat concept. That is, we see the truth. We see the things as they are. Our ability to see the truth becomes more, and we start creating reality, as you said. So, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prithvi. Yeah, that's the concept of beat, Purna.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for diving deep into the beat itself, right? So I know we changed the little T there from thought power to transformation, because that's what we want, the goal or the end of the meditation. But the original idea of that thought, right? Being aware of your energy, how to use your energy for that given thought or for given speech. That's a great explanation. Thank you so much, Sam and Prithvi, for presenting it. I'm sure a lot of friends over here, and they were not aware of this particular simple but yet powerful and very, very important concept of BEAT, which we do it every second, basically. Obviously, we breathe in, breathe out every second. Thank you for that. So I see one question. I think it's a curiosity question, I guess, from let's see, from Joy. Sam sir would like to know more about your journey of transformation.
Yeah, I'll do it on the day where I share my experiential wisdom. Today is the Register's experience. Definitely will do that soon.
There you go. Perfect. And then, so I don't see any other questions in the chat. Anybody see any question, or anybody have any question for either Suresh or Sam, the team here? Please, the floor is open.
I just want to thank all the team. There are a lot of people who come on the screen, but there is a beautiful team behind the screen who don't appear on the screen. They do the flyers, they take care of the including the music, volume, everything, Zoom, hosting. Lots of thanks to, lots of love to all the team members who are behind the screen.
Absolutely. No, there is no words to explain that, though. I mean, gratitude to everybody, like who's behind the scenes. You call the BTH team, right? So behind the scenes of this digital connecting platform. And I have a couple of hands raised here. So I'll start with Preeta ma'am. Can somebody please unmute Preeta ma'am?
Hi. Just a second.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Thank you so much. This explanation is so beautiful, which actually I wasn't aware of a lot of things, though I've been meditating for about 2 years. I just wanted to understand. I mean, I don't know if I missed it. How can I meditate when I'm traveling, when I just want to recharge myself, anywhere I am, like on the go, recharging yourself? How can that happen? Is that
Suresh sir, please take the question.
Yeah, I was gonna request Suresh.
Basically, madam, a great question. That's a very important point for a modern day living, right? So, like say you are traveling in a bus, right? You don't find a seat, right? But at least you can hold a rail. And then when you hold a rail, the first thing that you can do is you can close your eyes and still continue holding the rail. And then cut off from because 80% of the energy is conserved when you close your eyes. Because the eyes are the biggest distractor which consumes or gives you energy. So when you close your eyes and just hold the rail, and then you can naturally bring your attention back to your breath, right? So breathing is happening by default, but only thing is, where is your mind, right? So the mind is in your breath. So then automatically you become mindless, like what Sam clarified, right? So become mindless, and that's the best way to recharge. By the time you get out of the bus, or any other crowded area, you already recharged, right? So you don't lose energy, right? So the anchoring of the thoughts keep happening. It keeps trapping you. It keeps infecting us. So that at least we are relieved through that journey, that you don't have any cribbing or any other issues like that. So that was a crowded area which I'm talking. But when you are traveling, like even I've experimented on when I'm driving the whole night, right? So I could drive the whole night without any stress or strain by keep observing the breath regularly, right? And then also through the journey also you can keep, of course the focus will be on. So you'll have two things to attend to. One is focus on the road, but at the same time, whenever you are because when you drive a vehicle, right, you won't even know what your mind is doing. By our subconscious learning, we would take left, right, signals are there on off. So it's just happening. But the mind would have left one program to attend to that. But rest of the program that you will go back, you will go to the future, anxiety strikes in or past. So mind keeps traveling apart from doing the job which you are focused on. So during that time also, you can do two things. One is that focus on the driving, but at the same time, keep observing the breath. So what happens is, again, that stress or strain that you go through, be it traffic or honking or whatever other phones or things like that. So at least you are disconnecting from rest of the things. So that's how I can say. So you can practice this anywhere, whether open eye or closed eye, right? So, but the good thing is that, when you practice more of closed eye meditation, then the open eye meditation becomes a continuing flow of your day, right? When you're cooking, you will be mindful. When you're talking, you'll be mindful. When you're eating, you'll become mindful. So that's a percolation that happens.
Yeah, just wanted to add, once in a while, if you just keep observing how you're breathing, that will switch you back to the observer. As long as you are in the observation mode, you are not draining your energies. You'll keep your energies or receive the energies. So choosing to be in the observation mode with the help of breath. That can be practiced even in the non-meditative hours. That would be useful. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, so Ana-Pana-Sati itself is, there's a little tagline we use, right? So anywhere, anyone, anytime. So you don't need to have, you don't need to be a specific meditator, a person, or yogi or anything. You don't need to have a specific time. You don't need to pick a place. If you are aware of your breath, like, Suresh sir and Sam was saying, you can do it anywhere. Thank you for the wonderful answer. I would like to request someone to please unmute Vikal sir.
Hi, good morning to everybody.
Morning, sir.
And
Morning, sir.
I have one question. When Sunil was giving the research by today on the number of breath in a minute, so just to have everybody, all the new meditators get the clarity on that. How many breaths per minute should be okay when we generally, I was just calculating mine. It is going 10, 11. So initially it was 13, 14. So generally, if number of breath has to be 6 or 7 is the, kind of ideal. So is there any relation or correlation on that? How many breaths should be there? So the question is that only. And before somebody answer, I just want to add little bit of my experience on the question Preetaji asked. What I do, I have downloaded a lot of music from the meditation offline in my phone. And whenever I get the opportunity, whether I am traveling in the car, taxi, half an hour, 15, 20 minutes, or in the flight, I just play and sit with closed eyes and after taking the meals and food, whatever in the flight, and then use that time for meditation. So wherever you get time, you can just close your eyes and start using that time for the meditation. Thank you.
Yeah. Sunil, you want
Yeah, I will answer that. So, according to the research, they said the slow breathing, they're considering less than 10 breaths per minute. So that is just an average value that they consider. But I'm honestly not really sure about what should be the ideal number of breaths per minute. But that maybe a medical person, authorized person can answer that. But then according to the research, they considered less than 10 breaths per minute is considered as slow breathing. And that has given this result. So the numbers would be varying. I'll still look into the details of that research and maybe get back offline.
Sure, Sunil.
Yeah, and I suggest people should not be bothered about how many breaths we are taking, because that makes you conscious, and that puts the mind on. While you're observing the breath, naturally the number of breaths will come down, it will become still. But if you focus on the number of breaths, what happens is you'll become unnecessarily conscious of that. So let it happen on its own. It's just a piece of information. When you observe that your breaths have come down, like number of breaths have come down, you're progressing. You can use it as like, yeah, now I'm getting better kind of feeling. But otherwise, new meditators should never focus on the number of breaths and all. That wouldn't help. So naturally it will come down. After 33 days of meditation of Swayam, you can see, you will observe that, yes, the breathing pattern has changed.
Thank you very much, Sampath. Actually, I just wanted to get the answer what you have given just now. Because the moment we close our eye and sit in the meditation, we talks about, simply observe your breath, shallow, normal, tender breath. No effort on breathing. Just simple follow whatever. So let it be 10, 11, 12, whatever is there. Don't be conscious on that. Thank you very much, Sampath.
No, just to add a fun point of it, right? Just take it lightly, is no breath is the best. Anything above the no breath is always making the mind heavier.
Yeah.
So if you want to have a feather light mind, lesser the breath is always joyous and more grander. More breath is not a grander thing. That's what I think.
Yeah, Dr. Rajiv has also posted in the chat. He is a doctor by profession. For adults, normal respiration rate is 10 to 12 per minute. So,
Perfect.
There you go. We got the scientific answer too. So thanks for the question, Vikal sir, and thanks for the answer, Raju sir and Sampath and Suresh sir. So I have one more question from Gangadhar, sir. Let's see, I can unmute.
Yeah, Thank you everyone for like a good meditation time today. So I started again like the first class of the season. I was practicing and I stopped and again started. In the beginning, I like the last couple of days back, I mentioned like I was getting headache and I got some instruction. So and after that, and one suggestion I got like from masters, like there should be no result or no expectation. There should not be any expectation or there should not be any result. Just we need to be in the present situation. So and dropping things means like there are like some things, some thoughts are coming in the mind and some headache, something coming. So I think Sampath suggested for the dropping thing. So first I did not understand, but slowly I feel like I'm understanding now. So that means if there are no expectation, so what can I achieve in the future with the meditation, like kind of expectation, there is no expectation. So then we are being in our present situation, and we are getting some help. So from yesterday onwards, like from yesterday and today also, I started meditating in the office for like a 25 minutes. We have like a separate room for the meditation in the office. So I started, and in the evening also I started with you. So still I'm getting into the sleep. Sleep means like from fraction of second or something. And I also feel the breathing is like so easy and nice, smooth. It's very smooth. So earlier, like I was feeling like the chest is like expanding and the stomach is like expanding. Now, finally, I feel like the breath is only flowing only from here itself, just straight line. So that's making easy. And I had a question like um, like a what's the difference like if you choose like before meditation, like someone has like a 10 years of experience in the meditation. So before meditation, now after 10 years of meditation, if you take one example, how you were thinking and how you are thinking now with the awareness. So that awareness term is like I like very much, because regularly I like I'm in a mood of like argumenting with the people because I'm lack of awareness. So maybe that example I'm telling, but if someone explain us like taking one example how he was and how he is now by taking one example, so maybe that helps more the benefits of meditation. Yeah.
May I take that?
Yes, sir, please.
Yes, sir. Please, please. Yeah.
You take it up first. You want to take it up, sir?
No, Subhash, sir. Please go ahead, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Gangadharji. And see, the only thing that I can use an example, right? Like say, how the world changes. Say, when you I want to go out of your place now, and it starts very heavy rain, right? So what will you do? You want to go out, so what will you do? You have heavy rain, right? So
Okay.
change the environment. You don't say the nature, hey, you stop the rain and then I'll get out. So what you will do, you will hold an umbrella.
Yes.
And then,
Correct.
you still enjoy and then you go out, right? So without blaming anything, right?
Yes.
But when it comes to the society, if there is some change that comes and it interferes in your way, you start blaming. So the first point, you want the world to change. And that's where the struggle starts. That's the first point, right? So the transformation that I have seen personally in myself, that we don't expect others to change. what is that I can change within myself, and then how can it percolate down into my world that I see, is that I am the center of what I am seeing. So if I have to only adopt to the situation, right? So I have to adapt to the situation. So that's how I channelize my energy in that way. And the second thing, like what even Sampath was also mentioning, that, if you're feeling you're helpless or victimized, that means to say you don't know the role, right? So that means to say I'm like feeling out of the box. So if you are playing a role, right? Like if you are all acting on a drama stage, we know that we are just delivering our dialogue based on the role that I have been given. And you practice such a way that, you make sure that you deliver 100% of what you have been given as a role. So the moment we start realizing, like say you get to the home, you become a father or a son to your mother and father, right? So, and then you get to the office, you become a boss or a group leader or a manager or a CEO. So the moment you can acquire that role 100% and then give the best without having a clutter in the mind. So you know that you are acting that role, and that becomes your natural way of behavior. That means to say that is there is a great degree of transformation that has happened, because every one of us are just playing a role. It is just an act. That's called Leela. So when we state of behaving or living our life, that, yes, it's just a play. And then like a child, right? In one scene it's crying, the next moment immediately it starts laughing and becoming merryful. All right. So if forgiving, forgetting, and being in the moment, if it becomes a natural affair, that means yes, you're evolving in your spiritual journey or a practice of meditation. That's all I can say.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the answers. Sam, please.
From my personal experience, I can say, I can give you a stupid example, Gangadharji. Like before starting meditation, I was very, short-tempered and, ready to get into fights kind of, right? In Hyderabad, we have this culture. Someone, you're driving and someone is driving and he hits you or you hit him, you first get into fight. Right? I was like that, and you will always say the other guy is wrong. And you will get into, first you will start with bad words and then it might get into, literal fight. This is a normal thing which we come across. First after meditation, first year of meditation, I saw that if the same thing happens, I just give a smile to the person and I say sorry, even if the mistake is his, not mine. Because I have put an awareness like mistake to hota hai yaar. Everybody does mistakes. Who wants to do it? Who wants to do it deliberately? Who wants to hit you deliberately? Right? So that patience was not there 1 year before. After 1 year of meditation, I start accepting things. I stop reacting. I respond to things with a smile, with patience. And first of all, the very perspective changes. Like even if he's trying to hit me, why is he hitting only me? There's so many others.
Yeah.
See, earlier it is like, I was going in a right path and it was his mistake, but you are not the only person on the road. Why did he hit you? There could be something that you were chosen. Like, as I said, once you start taking 100% responsibility of your reality, and you will start seeing every problem as an opportunity to evolve.
Okay.
Every person who is coming as a negative element into your life, where did I create this? I am the creator, So that consciousness changes. You're no more a victim. So these kind of changes we keep seeing. You will also have a lot of examples to quote, but I just wanted to share my experience. I remember that from I was surprised to see myself, like same incident, if it had happened a year ago, there was a fight and now I give a smile, I say sorry, and the other guy smiles back. He has no other choice. The world is a mirror. You will realize these truths. And now I do the same, same kind of things, but very consciously and mischievously I do things. I create fights, but there is a person inside smiling behind that. I show
Okay.
anger, I shout on people, I do that, but there is a smiling person. There is an undisturbed peace inside. So, the sir used a word called Leela, right? Now everything is
There
a
you
Leela.
go. All right.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
two more examples I had like a how meditative person will take the COVID situation, the first beginning of the COVID situation. Many people got scared, and with the scare only people I heard like a few people died. Um, or the current situation, the market is not good in the IT field, so people are doing. Some people are doing extra hours to show yeah, I'm a good employee, I'm working more, I'm delivering more. Okay, so let's say some people are let's say like my niece just have 2 years of experience, so they are scaring what if I lose my job. Okay, so now fighting within the traffic, yeah, that's I understood. How people will take these as examples, like a meditative people, how can they treat it? How can they fight with these situations, like a COVID or losing job or market is not good? So
Yeah.
so here we cannot blame right anybody. So here blaming maybe our fairness, maybe our thoughts, how.
First of all, when you are meditating, your energies are rising. There is a trait when you have low energy, there is a trait when you have high energy. The low energy traits, all the qualities, all the words, actions, thoughts are based on fear when you're in the low energies.
Okay.
And the energy increases, you will start acting based on love and trust.
Okay.
And that's when you realize that however I think, that's how I perceive, and that's how I feel. The whole of the reality based on what you tune to, whether your thought is based on fear or thought is based on love.
Okay, nice sir. Nice answer.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I started thinking, my shift I'm sharing, I started seeing that except humans, there is no other species on the planet who will run for employment, who will look for, hospitals or insurances or all these things. In spite of having all these, a man is always in the fear and insecurity. I suddenly look at all those species, birds and animals who trust in nature and who are happily living without bothering about tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Why are we losing trust on the nature? One change of job should not shake your world. You have come this far, you learned so much, you evolved so much. So there will always be a right place for you. A change is not always the end of the world. Change is always perceived as stress because of your fear and your low energy. The same thing will look like an opportunity and a positive change.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I like
the
that
inside
answer,
changes, the
energy.
outside changes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like that answer, energy level. Yeah. So when we have a low energy, yes, our mind capacity is low, and we easily get scared, and we don't look for alternatives or anything. Yeah. When is the energy is high, so we know our capabilities, what we can do. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah.
The whole of the journey in meditation is from fear to love.
Okay.
Yeah, just to share
Over
my
to you.
on that, right? When it comes to that, I was very afraid of being next to a dead body or look at dead bodies or being just looking at or just attending any funerals or things like that. Very afraid, very it used to stay in my mind deeper, very insecure and things like that. So, but during the COVID, like after a long journey in my spiritual life, I could get very easily into the hospitals to teach the healthcare workers and handle many dead bodies, be in the funeral ground, looking at hundreds and hundreds of dead bodies sitting. I was just feeling that, these are people who got a boarding pass, their flights are not ready. So actually the context, what I saw on the ground is that, where if suppose there was a person who is to die in a family, there's so much of hangama before they get burnt, right, or dug and put in the grave, right? So, but there I saw in graveyards where, everyone is literally fighting there that, my body, we have bought this body for so long, take this first, you burn this first, that's how the line used to be, at one place, instead of one body, they used to burn 3 bodies. So the context changes, right? So depending on where we are, actually, what is my condition and situation. So I could have people with 5 of my family members who are all COVID hit, and I drove them home, right? And there are a couple of funny things in our life, right? So everything gets infected with except your mobile and your money and wallet, right? So they are all exempted. So that's how it was like. So it's a funny world, right? The humans are so mischievous, right?
Yeah, that's a beautiful answer, sir. So I was going to respond to Gangadhar ji. Before I did meditation, I was more into the physical aspects of the life, right? So body, mind. But after meditation, I treat other person with the soul level. So I realized that we are beyond the body and the mind. And this applies to every aspect of it, all the way from eating habits to the way how you present yourself, behave yourself. And I started empathizing with other people, right? I was in the corporate world for a long time. I empathized with my subordinates, with my bosses. So, okay, this person is behaving this way, which means there is something else behind that, right? So it's not this person. So there must be like Sampath was saying, there must be a fear-based emotion coming out of that. It could be insecurity, right? It could be, lack of trust, right? So that's a big relation for me. Now, you're not the body or the mind. You're beyond them, and you're the soul. You've taken this Maya, Leela, right? All the concepts we're talking about, right? So we are in this Maya, right? So we are just playing the roles, like Suresh was saying earlier. You take this father role, your son role, your daughter role. You're playing these roles, but when you do that consciously, with awareness, with sincerity, commitment, you get the best out of it, right? And with meditation is the biggest benefit I've seen is your consciousness and awareness increases by default. You don't have to, okay, yeah, am I doing this? No, by default, you will see the change. Your family will see the change. Your colleagues will see the changes. So that's the biggest things that happened to me. Patience levels, boosted up, empathy, treating other persons at the soul level, looking into the soul aspect of the other persons, right? It's a beautiful journey. All right, guys. So looks like those are the questions, and I know we are literally more than an hour late. Well, this is a beautiful happening because it's good. The great discussion, productive questions, very healthy questions, and thank you so much for everyone patiently listening in. We still have a lot of people waiting on this in spite of 2 hours sitting here, so it didn't feel like 2 hours. I guess we can give the stage to Suresh sir and Sam. They'll keep on going. So I think we'll have to
No, I want to say sorry for taking more time. I'm
No,
not happy taking more time. We want to finish
I
the
know.
session on time from tomorrow.
Absolutely. We'll do. See, that is where I think should not give questions to probably Sam, I guess. But no, it's all good. Thank you so much, Suresh sir, for your gracious presence, and Sam for jumping in, answering very very good questions. Sharing your wisdom. Sunil, sharing this concept. Prithvi, it's a beautiful, wonderful session, and thank you all again for taking your time this beautiful morning and evening. And you all have a great day, great night, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you all, friends.
Thank you.